was sitting down in my room and a thought came across my mind. And this thought was, what could I do to help people that are struggling with anxiety? And I was just pondering, thinking aloud, what could I actually do? Like, what is the one thing I could do to help people that have or are struggling with anxiety? And I thought to myself, whilst just listening to podcasts and on communication, how I can talk better, how I can tell better stories, how I can better deliver materials that could help you, what I could do to improve your situation. And I came across a video that was talking about the 3 layers that cause us to respond and act in certain ways. And these 3 layers consist of the first thing being your thoughts, the second thing being your emotions, and the third thing being your story. So 3 things. And I've realized in previous videos, I always tell people, you've got to first focus on your thoughts, then your thoughts can change your emotions, then your emotions can change your actions. And I got it completely wrong. And I will sit here and attest. I will literally tell you, yes, I am wrong about what I told you. Yes, I've made a mistake. Most people tend to go down in that path: thought, memory, story. But realistically, it should be story, emotion, thought. If you change your story, if you change your self-belief, if you change how you value yourself and what you do to value yourself, how you perceive yourself, what you do for other people, what your greater mission is in life, if you change your story, you will start to have, and if you change your story positively, you'll start to have better emotions. And guess what happens? You start to have better thoughts, positive thoughts. It makes sense. It's almost like your story is a book, and within that book are emotions, and then all the text are your thoughts. So if you perceive it like that, that's a way better way to think about how you can change the way you respond to anxiety. I truly do believe, I know this might seem like I'm saying, this is the way, guys, this is the way, follow me. But I do truly believe that if you can identify yourself to be a confident, rich, successful man or woman, if you identify yourself as something greater than the problems that you face, something greater than the problems you think about, something greater than the associations you have to negative emotions, if you can just change that self-belief, that thought, that emotion, that story to being greater, you will less likely be responsive to these negative things that happen to you. Think logically. If you're like someone that's a leader or like a great representative, and you have a nation or an army of people that follow your every move, you have something you work towards every single day, you try to help these people, you identify yourself as a representative, a leader figure, a public figure, and you wake up every morning joyful, happy to be this representative, can a phone call, can some random stranger come to you and tell you, oh, you can't achieve this? No, they can't say that to you, because you know who you are, you know what you've done, you know what you've overcame. It could be work experience, careers, university, schooling. You know what you've achieved in life. And if you've not achieved much, it's easier to become anxious and have anxiety. But if you've achieved a lot, and it doesn't need to be like academically or like certificates, it could be anything, building or growing a relationship with your family, being in a better place with your mental health, being in a better place with your physical health, improving your diet over 2-3 years. These are all achievements. Improving your finances, moving out of your family's house, or even paying for the rent for your family members that live in the house. If you can take all these small wins and acknowledge them and know, I've grown so much more from the past to now, little things won't allow you to be responsive to them to affect you. I truly do, this is why I say it. I'm not just saying it just because I want you to believe that I truly believe it. I truly do believe if you change the way you respond, you will change your life. Change the way you respond to thoughts. Change the way you respond to negative situations. Change the way you respond to positive situations. Everything in life is always responses. You are who you are. You are the result of who you are because of the responses you've made in life. If you responded differently in all those like situations, those negative situations, the likelihood of these situations hindering you or being a burden, something to worry about, would be so much more less, so much more smaller, wouldn't affect you in any way if you could just respond less to these situations. Now, the real question is, how do we respond less to improve our anxiety? How can I be less responsive? Not less responsible, less responsive. How can I be less responsive? How can a heavy object drop on my foot, graze me? How can a paper cut touch me and I don't shout, I don't wail, I don't get extremely frustrated, I don't start blaming other people? I take a deep breath and I move on, I stand up, I get back up and I get back to work. How can I be more like this type of person that isn't responsive to stress? Because at the end of the day, something happens, we respond in a certain way, and this forms our identity. And it just keeps repeating itself. Something happens, this is the way I respond to it. This is the result of how I've responded. Something happens, this is how I respond to it. This is the result of how I've responded. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, and then you expect a different result. So are you insane? Most of us are insane. Most of us do the same things every single day and we expect a different result. Now, of course, obviously, doing the same thing over a long period of time, because I believe that everyone should have a long-term mindset. We should replace this short-term, I need money quick, I need gains quick, I need mental health improvement quick, I need to get rid of my stress quick. We need to remove this association to achieving or getting things fast with long-term mindset. If I act on this thing now, for the next 10 years, I keep doing the same thing. In 10 years, I'll be here. Rather than if I act now and try to change this thing today, by the end of the day, I'll probably be here. Great. It won't be great. Like, it's amazing that you want to focus on now and here. I always tell people, focus on the present moment, but also know why you're doing that. If you're making positive decisions now, what's going to happen in 10 years? If you keep focusing on improving your now and your here, in 10 years, what will happen? But you've got to have that association to that long-term belief that I'm not going to respond to stress the way it wants me to respond to it, because I know in 10 years, I want to be in a better place with my mental health. Wow. That's changed the whole scenario of things now. If I respond less to things that stress me out, in 10 years, my mental health will be better. If this thing that's stressing me out currently, right now, in this very moment, there's this thing I'm worried about and it's making me anxious, if I respond less to it now, in 10 years, I'll be better at responding to more stressful things. In 10 years, I will be less stressed out, less anxious. Change the way you respond to things and it will change your life. I truly do believe this. Try it out yourself. My name is Paul Khadar. Check out my Discord community. It will be the first link in the description. It's been your boy Paul. Love you guys all. And we out. Peace.